Hey team, it's Ripper here. Hope you guys are doing great. Build was at the beginning of the video, as you can see right there. So rewind it, pause if you want to look. Appreciate all the support, like, subscribe, belt button. I appreciate you guys supporting the channel and growing us. I love the community, love the talk, love the feedback and everything. We're having a blast sailing ships and shooting ships. So hey, hope you guys are doing well again. And this is, as you can see by the title of the video, the OP build. Pretty much getting, and I'll spoil it for you right now, is a Kraken game, but I mean, this is exactly why. The first time I used this OP build, and a couple times after, I get a Kraken in it. So I'm gonna basically say, I don't know if it's healthy or not for the game. It is, I guess you could say, somewhat fun, but I think it's going back to the meta of how back in the day of the Smolensk style kind of gameplay, except without smokes. As you can tell, this is a Tier 10 premium destroyer without smokes. It's pretty much like a Friesland with, it's a Friesland with radar, if you want to call it that, but Tier 10. And we'll talk about it right now. So I always like to start the video showing you guys what it looks like to position at the very beginning. So I started off on the left side of the map with only maybe 2 ships helping me off. The Schlieffen is obviously coming over, but he's a little far back. But again, this is pretty much by myself. So as you can see right now with this build, I have a concealment of 8.3. I'm thinking about the next video, I'm going to probably bring that concealment back down to 7.5 because it does help with destroyers. Because as soon as you get spotted, this tactic is pop the radar, which lasts about 30 seconds, and you can literally just destroy a destroyer literally within the, a few couple, I would say 10 to 20 seconds. You can destroy a destroyer with these guns. These guns, if you don't know, are Worcester style guns. They're 150 millimeter guns that penetrate 30 millimeters and really melt destroyers. I'm just letting you know right now, they're awesome. Anyway, the positioning right here, here's a tactic right here. So we're going to basically stay outside the cap. I use the 8.3 concealment just to kind of borderline the A cap. So as soon as a DD enters, I know that the cap starts counting down, which means, hey, there's a DD. That's a great way to use your tactics to your advantage. I can use the cap as a type of early warning radar, where as soon as I see it start capping, I know, boom, a destroyer's in the cap. That means as soon as I get spotted, I better start moving or wait for him to draw in closer and then pop the radar. Or he'll start firing and reveal himself. Either way, it's my advantage. I notice I'm backing into the cap as well because, one, gives me one way out. I'm always thinking about how do I exit the cap if I do get shot at, do get radared, especially in a DD. I want an exit route, okay? You got to plan for that. And I'm backing in to slowly cap, the cap, obviously, and really provide spotting and just start slowly capping like I'm doing right now. So it provides a lot of advantages for your team and provides you a safe avenue of exit. So now just capping here is waiting. I'm noticing nobody's over here. I don't see any destroyers. I mean, there are 3 destroyers in the sub, but it seems like they're more occupied in either B or C. And I don't think there's any destroyers here. I see one gearing right there. I got the Balau at B. Where are the other 2 destroyers? Not sure. I'm assuming they're at C or they're not capping A. Either way, we're going to take the advantage of it, and we're going to cap A and just sit here and wait. A couple other things I want to talk about for the advantages. If you're just watching this video for the first time, the Ragnar is really great because it has the ability to shatter shells. The midsection of the armor, if you go through the armor layout, you can view that on the preview screen in the armory if you don't have it. But if you preview the armor layout, it's pretty much, and there's the other DD right there, Z52. He was really far back, and just look at the range of these guns. Look at this. I can literally reach out to him and more, and hitting him too. First of all, the dispersion on the ship is incredible. I mean, look at how the groupings of these 2 little shells are just holding. I'm hitting him from 11.9 away and doing some serious damage here. So look at this. Even in the smoke, I'm still firing. I just keep the crosshairs on the last known position, and I set a fire on him, and will we get it? Yeah, the damage counter is ticking up. We hit one more. Boom! Whammy kablammy! And he's first blood down. RIP him back to port. Now, here's another scary thing. The Des Moines. These guns melt cruisers, okay? I'm just letting you know the guns melt cruisers. I'm talking about even Russian cruisers, because Russian cruisers like to do this tactic right here, and I don't blame them. The Moskva, the Stalingrad, Petro, they pretty much literally just like to park and hide an island, which is annoying sometimes, but it is a great tactic if you're on their team. But look what I'm doing right now. I'm just literally sitting here farming a cruiser and just melting them. This works for Russian cruisers as well. These 30mm guns, I mean, although they can't penetrate the 50mm deck armor, they still can, as you can see, take on the the superstructure portion, if you will, okay? Just letting you know that does, and boom, Des Moines goes down, second kill of the game, RIP, back to 40, and now we're moving on. And look at this, Montana, 14.2 kilometers away. I'm in a destroyer, and look what's going on. I'm too small of a target for him to care about, and I'm going like, well, you know what? Free farming. And this is exactly this meta now. It is really annoying. I mean, all the Montana can do at this point is I'm always spotting him. He's always in my range, and he's taking full damage because guess what? These penetrate 30mm, and he's only got 32, maybe 50 or something, but I'll start fires on him too. Again, fire chances on this ship are incredible. He takes a pop shot with one rear gun, which is probably not gonna do much to us. Yay, and scratch the paint. And now we're just basically farming with 1,000 damage, 1,400 damage, 1,000 damage. He cannot, boom. Montana, we took out the whole team on the left side. We got the first 3 kills of the game in this thing. OP indeed. Okay, so we're moving on. So let me go back to the armor layout of this ship like I was talking about earlier before I was interrupted by gunfire. The Ragnar has this 20, I would say 20, I think it's 21 or 25mm armor section along the broad side of the ship. So most likely the majority of the side armor is pretty much shattering destroyer guns. Most destroyer guns can only really penetrate maybe 19 to 20, I think 21. So maybe this armor, I think it's 25. I have to go back and look at it. But basically, what I've learned, and from other CCs that have talked about it, they've talked about the ability for this thing to shatter the most destroyer guns, like the Khabarov skin. I mean, it's just that style of armor that is really annoying and very difficult for most destroyers to fight and battle against. So that's an advantage. Bad thing for the destroyers, good thing for you. The other cool thing about this destroyer is the fact that it has HP to support that. So not only do you have thick armor, you have 26,500 base. Now I didn't build for survivability. Now imagine if you built this thing for survivability, you're at 30,000 HP. That is pretty much, you are a cruiser-like little guy that's shooting cruiser-like guns with cruiser-like radar. It's just 7.5 radar distance. But still, I mean, you are literally a miniature cruiser, okay? And it's pretty devastating and awesome at the same time. The Ragnar's radar obviously just told about 7.5 range, which is, you can use a tactic for 2 different ways. One, I've got the full build here, which means that this radar only works as 7.5, but my concealment is 8.3. So as soon as I get spotted, it's still ineffective. So the radar, you have to drive in a few seconds before you can actually use it. So I find it doesn't work very well that way. But if you build for concealment, the lowest concealment you can get to is 7.5 with the radar at 7.5. You really can become the stealth radar thing. As soon as you get spotted, boom, pop the radar, oh, the jig's up, and you start shooting the destroyer. The other cool thing about the radar is you can build it. Man, I'm telling you, if you can upgrade it fully, you can get this thing up to maybe, I think, 31 seconds long. I mean, you'll see me pop the radar at the end of the video, and you'll see that this radar is pretty devastating. I mean, if the destroyer is caught in it, you have to get 31 seconds out of it, and then the destroyer has to figure out a way to get away at 31 seconds. Here's the other problem. This destroyer has speed boost, so you can get this Ragnar up to about 40 plus knots. So running away from it has also proven to be difficult as well. This thing chases down destroyers. In my last video called the best DD hunter killer, I think this and the Smallen are up there in the top, I would say top 2, because the Smallen and the Ragnar work together really, really well. I mean, being able to spot DDs, pop radar, and literally have fast firing guns, and the destroyer has nowhere else to go, is pretty incredible, and you start fires like a madman. Smallen's good at that, Ragnar's good at it. I mean, these European destroyers start fires really, really well. I'm starting to see a trend here. It seems like the European destroyers, Smallen, Holland, Ragnar, they're starting to become, I would say, pretty powerful. I mean, they are some of the most powerful DDs in the game, and they're fun. So anyway. Look at the plethora of torps here, and we're just trying to figure out which ones to dodge, because there's so many just red triangles all over the place. So just kind of sit here and pick one, and I was being an idiot there, and I just happened to eat one. But you know what? There's the heal. Look how much he can heal. The heal's ridiculous in this thing as well. That's another benefit. But the cool thing about that is the adrenaline rush kicks in, and adrenaline rush helps us with the reload. Look at that. I got the reload down to 2.1 seconds. Are you serious? 2.1 seconds with 150 millimeter guns. Insane in the membrane. I'm just letting you know that this thing is literally wicked. So another tactic about this is we know the GK and the Schlieffen have their secondary ranges built out to, if they full build it, it can get out to 12.5, 12.3-ish. So as long as I stay with that in 13 kilometers, and look what I'm doing. I'm just literally just farming and not afraid of his secondaries. And look, I'll just start fires galore on this thing. Again, I'm more of a support ship at this point where I'm just chipping away 1,000 damage at a time, 1,000 damage at a time, and just see if I can start a fire, which also bleeds down about a few hundred at a time. I mean, this thing is literally just a little like a little Chucky, if you will, just running around creating havoc and causing just players just to get really, really frustrated. I mean, this is the new meta, I guess, and it doesn't promote brawling. I mean, it just promotes running away, hiding, and it doesn't help at all. But it is fun, like I said, if you're this type of gameplay, I guess it's fun for you. It does win games though, so there's another kill right there, 4th kill of the game. This is a very close game, actually, guys. I mean, looking at the tactic here, they have 2 caps to our 1, and all we have to do is cap B and hold, and you can pretty much win the game. But in World of Warships, if you haven't played long enough, you know that anything can happen. It's like any given Sunday. All of a sudden, the game can turn around, and you pretty much now are losing, which we're probably going to see right here. I think we do lose the Yoshino here to some torps, but we'll have to see. But we're going to have to go and support them. I can't support the Republic. I can't support the Montana right now. We're too far away. Only guy we can really make sense to tactic-wise is to support the Yoshino Cap and B, but he is now in range of a Schlieffen, which is bad. And also we have 2 destroyers, Shimakaze, and I believe there's a Gearing here somewhere. And boom goes the dynamite. Again, Schlieffen melting with those secondaries. Now I like that gameplay. I like the style of, you know, using secondaries to farm. I mean, that's why I love the Schlieffen. It's the greatest battleship, I think, right now in the game for not only brawling, but just doing everything. It's got torpedoes, great concealment. It is a brawling ship, but again, with Ragnar style ships like this, or Smolensk or Colbert, it's starting not to produce that that meta, if you will, anymore, because we're starting to farm again. We're starting to do an HE farming from, or HE spamming from long distances, and that's starting to get into a problem again. And here we go. So we're just going to start farming, and yeah, we're at 11.5. Okay, so now the secondaries start popping off, which is bad because they're very, very accurate, which is good. I mean, I'm glad that the secondaries are accurate and can handle things like this, but bad for me, I got to start running away. There is the Gearing, there's the Shimakaze. We basically stirred up the Hornet's Nest, get everybody fired, reveal the position, and I'm going to switch. The reason I'm switching to Gearing is look at my dispersion. It's really, really good. Look at, boom, knocked out his engine. I mean, the dispersion on the Ragnar is incredible, like laser beams. And essentially you can, I mean, the destroyer is the priority. I mean, battleship, yay, but destroying a destroyer is the best thing you can do at any given time. That's the priority. It goes destroyers, cruisers, battleships. That's what you're supposed to do. But I had some help with the Republic. Great job there, melting him. And just look at all those secondaries. Just beautiful arcs right there. Look at that. Boom, boom, boom. And he's just scratching the paint right there because our armor is thick enough to mitigate as much damage as we can. Now, we are constantly detected, which means obviously the Shima or the Gearing are still within play, and we go undetected, which means they're outside of the cap and outside of our detection zone. So what we're going to do is we're going to push into Bravo and see if we can stir up the nest again and see if we can get the Gearing to fire at us and pop the radar. Now, if they were smart, they would not fire. I mean, because obviously there's 5 minutes left in the game. They have 2 caps. They could theoretically overtake us in points, or if they sink one of our ships too, so that could even the playing field. So this is still a very, very close game. All right, we're gonna push in the cap, and it's counting down, which means I don't have anybody in here, obviously, and nobody's detecting me. So what's the game style here? Obviously, they're not gonna fall back to sea. They're gonna try to cap and attack one of our battleships. So we're gonna be in the middle of it right now, and we are spotted. So I'm waiting a few seconds. And he actually started firing first, so that's a good thing. We don't have to use the radar. We just save it. And just even with the front gun, one front gun can take out, look, 700 damage at a time. And now when you bring in 2, you start to get 1,400 damage. Boom, 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 engine knocked out. And boom, there is the Kraken unleashed. Way to go, yay, yay. Okay, so now you can see how insanely godlike this ship is with the guns, with the armor. I mean, you saw the gearing really didn't do much to us. Even with us angled in or full broadside, it's very difficult for any kind of small destroyer, and people are thanking us for that as well. But yeah, that's the style of gameplay right there. You can comment, send that to Wargaming, tell Wargaming, hey, is this too overpowered? Do we need to back this up? I don't know. I don't know what you guys want. I'm just showing you what the capabilities of, and you guys decide how you guys want it. Send your comments to them. They're the ones that control the game. I'm just a player. All I can do is show you what the possibilities are, and if this is good or not or for the game. I don't know. Most people used to like the spamming. Some people don't like the spamming, promotes unhealthy. I don't know. Again, I was of the opinion of, look, just use tactics to overrun it. If you see a problem, then just use your skills to figure out how to overcome it. I mean, when life gives you problems, figure out how to solve it rather than, well, we can't do anything about it, right? No, that's what I like about tactics, because tactics always evolve and change. Even in today's world, when militaries are getting stronger, smarter, and better, guess what? Other militaries find a way to counter it. There's a counter for everything, trust me. Even the stealth bomber has a counter. If you haven't known, one of the stealth bombers were countered because it opened the bomb bay doors and the radar hit the bomb bay door and boom, it showed up on radar. So again, there's a counter for everything. Don't think everything's invincible. So here we go. We're spotted. Wait a few seconds. Here's a tactic. Wait a couple more seconds, and then we'll pop the radar. And it will slowly, yep, he'll drive right into it. And right there, 7.5 detection range, and now the game is pretty much over. I mean, all I got to do is keep the crosshair right on him or in front of him, and look at that, 1,400 damage. 1,400 damage. 1,400 damage. He cannot survive this long. Boom, there it is. And oh, there it is. There's the last one. We only need one more shell. Boom! Game over. And that was 6 kills right there in the Ragnar. I hope you guys liked the video. Let me know what you think of it. This is pretty much yeah, a crazy ship. Fun ship to get, crazy ship to play against. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Send the comments, like, and subscribe, and appreciate all the support. We're on our way to 400 subscribers. And again, be safe, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.